to see what, all right, Michael, go ahead.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is the Career Development Center from Hawaii Pacific University. We're doing a webinar today for our students, and we'll be doing a series of these over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Our first one is titled Career Exploration, and giving our students some tips and ideas to really use the available resources during these challenging times to still look at career exploration and some tips on how to be successful in doing that. So with that said, I'm going to begin with our PowerPoint that we've got, and we'll go through that. And I'll also, before starting with that, allow my colleague to introduce himself. Ryan, go ahead.
Sure. Aloha, everyone. My name is Ryan Tinloy, and I'm with the Career Development Center. My role is the Senior Career Advisor. So what I do is work with a lot of students one-on-one, helping them to develop their career development plans and try to point them and guide them in the right direction. I've been at HPU for approximately going on 9 years. Prior to HPU, I spent 12 years in the Department of Public Safety as a corrections treatment specialist, and I spent 20 years active duty and reserve in the U.S. Navy. I'm glad to be here, and I'll do my best to kind of impart on you guys some of the different career development tools at your disposal.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. Okay, I will begin with the first part of our slides here. And so again, the title of this webinar is Career Exploration. So a couple of learning objectives we're going to concentrate on, beginning with number one, understanding that career uncertainty is a very common situation that a lot of students will be facing as they're making that transition from college to career, and understanding how to gain some comfort with that uncertainty rather than letting it get the worst of you and turning it into kind of an anxiety-filled sense of doubt and uncertainty. So we're going to help you with finding some comfort with the uncertainty and also how to control some of the anxiety that comes with that. Also, we are going to provide some resources and action plans that you can use to help forge your way through that transition from college to career, and also some tips on building self-confidence throughout college so that when you are ready to make that transition, it's one where you feel confident and ready to take on the challenges that lie ahead in your future careers. So we have a career baseline assessment tool that we use to help kind of get a sense of where are we at, what's our feeling about our future careers. And so this first slide, there are 3 questions in this assessment. This first one asks to identify your level of certainty you have about your career after college, and 1 being very uncertain and 10 being most certain. What we find a lot of the times is that for students that are in academic majors that directly align with their future careers, such as nursing, they may have a high level of certainty about what their future careers will be. Perhaps it's a little challenging to identify specific units and departments they might work in a clinical environment, but generally they understand they're going to be nurses in their future careers. But what about for someone who is majoring in, say, international studies, political science, multimedia, those kind of academic majors and many others have a slew of opportunities that lie ahead for them career-wise, and trying to target what it is you're going to do can be tricky. So the idea here is to kind of identify where you would be on this scale. The next 2 will ask you to look at the opportunities and resources available to help you with that college to career transition. A lot of times our students are not aware of all of the opportunities. And so here you'd be circling somewhere between not really aware of those opportunities to most definitely I know about those opportunities. And so this would be the second question to answer. And then the third one on the assessment is asking the individuals to circle the number that correlates to the level of confidence you have about your future career. And of course, 10 again being, I'm very confident, most certain about my level of confidence. And so we would ask our students then to complete these. And then what we would do is move on to the next part of this, which then calls for a raise of hands, trying to get a sense of where are we. So, you know, how many students would have circled 7 or below, and how many 8 or above? And if you're in that 7 or below category, what we're trying to figure out is, why do we have that uncertainty? What brings that about, and how do we deal with that uncertainty? So we'll move into some suggestions on that. And so there is a theory out there in the career development, career services sector of higher education, and that chaos theory of careers is one that builds on the chaos theory that there are a lot of chance occurrences and experiences that we face, and they impact us both in our personal lives and in our careers. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully this will connect to the YouTube video we have. It's just a very short one. We're only going to show the beginning of it, but we'd like the participants and the attendees that view this webinar to concentrate on some of the numbers that will be flashing through the beginning of this. So hold tight and we'll see if this comes up nicely. Oh, it didn't. Let's go back to that. Sorry, folks.
It's about complexity. We cannot be reduced and put.
I'll just play it from here. Yay! Forgive me. Okay. Okay, back to the slides. Okay, so what we saw in there were some just some statistics that were taken on folks in their careers. And one of the ones I would concentrate on was 80 to 100% of the participants in the surveys that were done said that chance occurrences greatly impacted where they were in their careers. And this is an important part of the chaos theory of careers. We can carefully plan out as much as we want what our future careers will be like. But there's going to be chance occurrences, circumstances that we cannot predict that will greatly impact our future careers. And that can happen through networking. It could happen through just friendships that we make. It could happen through going to the gym and meeting somebody that actually owns an organization and is looking to hire somebody, and you just happen to have a conversation with that person and there's a foot in the door. The important part about the whole chaos theory of careers is that these chance occurrences, these changes that happen throughout our lives, we need to be willing to embrace those. We need to understand that those are opportunities and we should be seeking out those paths of opportunities. So when we have a chance to strike up a conversation with someone who could be linked to career opportunities for us, we should pursue those. be able to learn how we can take advantage of the changes and the chance circumstances that happen in our lives to have them be advantageous links to our careers. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this particular slide here, Ryan's going to take over and talk a little bit more about ways in which we can put ourselves on that path to opportunity.
Now, building off of the chaos theory of careers, notice here you see a whole menu of different types of opportunities. The reason being is that there really is no single way to find your career, or maybe you're trying to find a new career or getting back on track on discovering something new or try to figure things out for yourself. There really is no one way. There's a whole menu of different options available at your disposal. And here at HPU's Career Development Center, there are some resources and actions that can help guide you in discovering what is the most appropriate path for me. So I'm going to kind of go through some of these options, and some of them you may want to try to experience. For example, in our Career Development Center, we offer the Strong Interest Inventory. It is a interest-based inventory or survey that allows you to align majors and careers that are directly correlated with your areas of interest. We also have the MBTI, or the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which is also another assessment tool that looks at your personality. And what it does is it aligns what type of leader you are and what kind of organizations that are best aligned for your type of personality type. At HPU, we also have a lot of innovative degree programs that allows you to explore taking a minor. You can take a few courses and discover a minor, and that's a great way to find out if there are other things that interest you. And we at the Career Development Center, what we always try to encourage students is to explore a minor or another major that's kind of outside of what you would normally explore. That takes you outside of your comfort zone. Maybe you're an English major, then maybe you may want to take a minor in perhaps business management. It broadens your career path and allows you to explore different opportunities in the business field. Perhaps a certification is in your future. A lot of our IT majors need to obtain some type of Microsoft certification, perhaps an engineering certification. That's another way for you to discover what is the best opportunity for your individual career development goal. We also offer internships and jobs. Throughout the year, we try to develop partnerships with different organizations who offer internships. And these internships are then offered to our students and allows them to gain hands-on experience, even the potential to earn academic credit. We also have a lot of registered student organizations or student clubs. These are another opportunity for you to discover your leadership potential and also to kind of develop teamwork with people that have the similar interests as you. Professional organizations is another way for you to explore. At the Career Development Center, we are part of the Mountain Pacific Association of Colleges and Employers. That's a way for Michael and I to kind of network and gain experience with other individuals within our similar field. There's also the opportunity to volunteer. Our student life department here always partners with different community-based organizations. It's a great way for you to get out of your comfort zone and really give back to our community. So where do you start? Well, you really need the self-confidence to really perform. So how do you build that self-confidence? And these are just a few tips that we've kind of figured out that it can kind of help you take you to the next level. One, you have to be eager to learn and develop. An old chief petty officer of mine in the Navy once told me that we never truly stay the same. We're either progressing or we're regressing in life. So with that mindset, you have to always be thinking about trying to move forward. So you want to be able to learn and develop new things outside of your traditional tools and resources. You want to be open to new challenges. Right now, we're facing COVID-19. This is a new challenge for us, for all of us, because we've all never been in this type of situation before. But we also saw that as an opportunity to develop new career development tools and place them in an online learning environment. So what are some ways that you can build self-confidence? Well, you want to develop some goals. Now, stretch goals are goals that really push you to the limit. They challenge you. They force you outside of your comfort zone. These are things that you probably would not have done on a regular basis. So these are some good examples of some stretch goals. Now, look at some of these stretch goals. They're not all professionally aligned. In other words, they're not necessarily career development related. But think about it now. Our careers are not just something that we go for 8 hours a day and we just come home. Our careers encompass both our personal as well as our professional lives. It's our academic lives, our leisure lives. All of these things kind of help build our self-confidence. So what we want to do is try to develop some stretch goals. And these are some really good examples. Perhaps you can learn a foreign language. If you're new to Hawaii, if there's a language that you've always wanted to learn, now is your opportunity. You can join a professional organization like a registered student organization. You can learn an instrument. You can perhaps join the chorale or ensemble here at HPU. Maybe you want to be like an RSO officer, like heading or leading a registered student organization. There are study abroad opportunities. Finding a challenging job. Maybe you might want to take a federal work study position in an office that you normally would not work in. Maybe you want to take an internship, gain some experience, learn a new sport. Basically, you decide what your stretch goals are. It's your opportunity to really challenge yourself in something that you normally would not have done. Let's take, for example, for me, I played the saxophone growing up. So for me, that was kind of an easy goal, but I wanted to try something different recently. So when I left the military, when I retired in 2013, I kind of had some time. So I wanted to try something different that I would never have done before. So what did I try? I actually tried yoga. It was hard, and it still is for me, but it's something that I would never have tried before, and I'm still learning the poses every day. But again, that's just a sample of something that I wanted to try. It's a stretch goal. It's something that it's challenging for me. It's outside of my comfort zone, and it's helping me build self-confidence every day. While we're at it, Michael, is there a stretch goal that you have in mind that kind of challenged you?
Yeah, I do. I would say really it's the one that got me to Hawaii. I was 21 and had some friends from where I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who had moved out here a year before me and said, I should come out. It's a great place to be. And I thought, oh yeah, it sounds fun to learn to surf and all that. But really what it turned out to be was where I would start my career, my life, and I've been here now for 35 years. But what it really forced me to do is also get out of my comfort zone. Culturally, Hawaii is a lot different from where I grew up. It enabled me to learn how to work with lots of different people from lots of different places that I otherwise would not have been exposed to. And through that experience, it's really helped me to be able to work effectively in higher education and understand the different needs and the different ways in which people communicate and collaborate. And as a result of that, I'm really quite happy about having made that move. It's one of those ones where you're a little uneasy when you start it, but then all of a sudden what you find out is you really have a much broader comfort zone than what you used to have prior to taking on a stretch goal.
Right.
So at this point, we would be calling on for questions, but I don't know if we've got someone logged in at this point. And if we do, we're certainly open to taking questions. If not, I think that would be the conclusion of this webinar.
Michael, we don't have anybody logged in, but could you maybe share the email that for students that watch this later that they could contact you via email?
Yeah, I think it's the next slide. There we go. So if folks have questions for Ryan or myself, that is our email right there, cdc@hpu.edu.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mike and Ryan.